quote the Beatles, you say goodbye, I say hello. The Minnesota Vikings have officially released Dalvin Cook. They did make the announcement 24 hours prior that they were going to, just to try to stir up some trade drama, which materialized to absolutely nothing. And it is officially Alexander Mattison time as their number one running back. The move is not all that surprising. It was going to be 14.1 against the salary cap this year. Now, they do take a 5.1 dead cap hit, saving 9. But because of the offset language in the Dalvin Cook contract about that $2 million of injury guarantee, when he does sign with a new team, the Vikings will get that $2 million credited back to them on the 2024 salary cap. Cook had an outstanding career with the Minnesota Vikings. In fact, for me, he's definitely on that Mount Rushmore behind only Adrian Peterson, Robert Smith, and Chuck Foreman. Cook still had his home run ball, and we saw that in the Miami game, the Buffalo game, and the Indianapolis Colts comeback for a few examples, but we also saw a lot of zeros and ones. And at the end of the day, the way the Vikings are going to be utilizing running backs with the Kevin O'Connell offense, Cook just wasn't a good fit. This team has made it clear that it is going to running back by committee, and Alexander Mattison will be chairman of the board. The question on the table at this point is, can Alexander Mattison carry the load? For me, I feel confident in saying yes, because he's not going to be asked to do what Dalvin Cook did. He's not going to be asked to take 80% of the carries. That is going to get spread around between Mattison, Wongwu, Ty Chandler, and possibly McBride. And more importantly than anything else, I am here for a running back by committee. This is no longer the 80s, 90s, or 2000s where a running back is a bell cow. Yes, we had Adrian Peterson, but he was a once-in-a-generational type running back. That's not how the NFL works anymore. The Kevin O'Connell offense doesn't utilize a bell cow running back, and frankly, it was a mistake to keep a guy for $14 million. I even said this time last year, it shouldn't be a 50-50 split between Cook and Mattison, but it should be closer to 60-40 and not 80-20. So I'm actually really looking forward to Alexander Mattison. No, he's not going to have the home run threat that Dalvin Cook did, but he's also not going to have the strikeout threat either. Dalvin Cook, for as good as he was, had a lot of zeros, ones, twos, and negative yardage plays, which set the Vikings up in second and long quite a bit. And Kevin O'Connell has specifically said multiple times this offseason, my playbook is far more open when it is 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 6 than it is when it's 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 11. When you get into that 3rd and 4th quarter and you still have Alexander Mattison carrying the rock, the defense is going to be theoretically worn down, and Dalvin Cook didn't break as many tackles as he used to. As much as we hate saying that, his time had come and gone. With that said, I do believe Dalvin still got 1, maybe 2 good years left in him, but it's always better to get rid of a player 1 year too early than 1 year too late. And at the end of the day, Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah have said, we are no longer holding on to our sacred cows, to our legacy players. At the end of it, yes, this offseason has been tough saying goodbye to players that we've known pert near since 2017 when we went to the NFC Championship game. Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Eric Kendricks, and to a lesser extent, Patrick Peterson as well. But as Herb Brooks once said, the name on the front of the jersey is more important than the name on the back. Yes, we all have jerseys that we bought of our favorite players that either go into mothballs or go to the Goodwill. But at the end of the day, it's not about hanging on players until they retire. It's about having the best constructed roster to give us the best chance to win a Super Bowl. And sometimes, after having a 5 to 6 year run, you have to have a season where you just shed yourself with older players that might still have a year or two of production, but ultimately with high salaries, they're just not worth the liability. We thank you, Dalvin Cook. You brought us some great memories, particularly that Indianapolis Colts game, that greatest comeback in NFL history where you scored the tying touchdown with the TJ Hawkinson 2-point conversion. You came right in right after Adrian Peterson. And people were saying the same thing then. Do we have a back on our team as good as Adrian Peterson, even at an advanced age? Well, Dalvin, you and Latavius Murray showed us that it can be done. We wish you the best no matter where you end up, unless it's Dallas or Chicago or Green Bay. Then we hate you. Nah, I'm just kidding. But jokes aside, we wish you nothing but the best. And Alexander, come on down. The price is right. You're the next contestant. For now, one last goodbye to you, Dalvin. Here's every touchdown, regular season, and playoffs that you scored in a Vikings jersey. And that is the Skol. To the next episode.